That's why our firm is so involved with community programs like bicycle helmet giveaways and our Safe Ride Home program. At the law offices of John Day, we're not just looking to make donations. We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too.
Dr. Craig McCabe, the eye doctor you hear on the radio.
So tell us what it was like to go through the cataract surgery.
Oh, it wasn't bad at all. There was no soreness, no hurting. They made you feel comfortable. I mean, I can see things that I couldn't see clearly before. It's absolutely wonderful. I do it again. I love it.
McCabe Vision Center on Heritage Park Drive, just off Memorial behind SunTrust Bank.
This is Primetime Sports, WGNS Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, streaming worldwide on wgnssports.com, and always at the game. The game. It's where you've had breakfast with the coaches since 1992. It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. We'll talk to the coaches about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. Now from News Radio WGNS, it's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome in to our coaches conversation here on this 5th day of October. I know many of you, if you're still in town, may be packing up, getting ready to head out. Fall break week is upon us. Maybe you're on the road listening in to your favorite coach this morning. Glad you're along with us here on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. We still have the donuts from Donut Country and the biscuits from McDonald's Murfreesboro and their good coffee flowing here, and the coaches are going to make their way in, or we'll have a few by phone today because they are on the road as well, getting ready for fall break. Be interesting to see how they handle fall break. That'll be something that we'll talk about with the coaches this morning. Everybody has a different opinion on that. But everybody, with the exception of PCA this next week, will have a bye week. So we're going to have a lot to talk about. That reminds me to remind you, next Saturday morning, we will not have a coach's show. We will skip next Saturday morning, and we'll return on the 19th. But we have a lot of conversation to get to here this morning and some huge games coming up by the time these teams head to the gridiron once again. So let's talk about it. Thursday night, we had several games. Actually had 6 games Friday, or 6 games Thursday, rather, and 4 games on Friday night. We had the opportunity to do a couple of broadcasts for you. We went to Oakland at Ray Hughes Stadium, and the Patriots defeated the Stars 42-7. On Thursday night, it was Riverdale flexing their muscle at Cane Ridge with a 37-0 victory. Rockvale with a huge win in region play over Coffee County by a final of 21-7. Pretty sure it was 7-7 at the end of the first half, and then Rockvale scored a go-ahead touchdown and secured the victory late with another score. 21-7, Rockvale the victor. Stewart's Creek, nice win at West Creek, 35-7. And Laverne falls to McGavock in a close one, 15-6, the final score. 15-6, McGavock with the victory in that one. The Smyrna Bulldogs go to East Nashville, and they get the 36-33 win. That was going to be a very challenging game, and Smyrna comes out ahead by 3 in that one. Those are Thursday night scores. Last night we headed to Middle Tennessee Christian School to see the Cougars and South Pittsburgh, and the youth movement is on at MTCS. They took it on the chin 49-0 last night, and also quarterback Briggs Boyd dinged up in last night's game. We'll get an update on that from Coach Peterson this morning. But, when you've got with Boyd out and Owen White, you had a couple of seniors that weren't able to play, and they only had 4 coming into this season. So very young MTCS team. And South Pittsburgh, they have some youth and they have some holes to fill, but still, they're a pretty good football team. South Pittsburgh winning last night. You can listen back to the podcast or watch the podcast of either one of those games at wgnssports.com. The Oakland Seagull game or the South Pitt MTCS. Elsewhere last night, it was Blackman with a 49-0 win over Pure Academy. It was Eagleville a win over Tennessee Heat 35-0. And in a shootout, Friendship Christian edges PCA 50-51. So that's a look at the scores from last night. Again, next week, Ezel Harding is at PCA on Friday night. That is the only game in Rutherford County this coming week. Then the following week, on October 18th, our broadcast game will be Riverdale at Blackman. Then elsewhere, Smyrna at Stewart's Creek. Huge games, both of those. Oakland goes to Coffee County, Rockvale at Pope John Paul II, Beach is at Siegel, Green Hill at Laverne, Loretto at Eagleville, Kings Academy at MTCS, and PCA at Friendship is not right. So I'll have to look back on my schedule and see what the right game that is, because I do know that they played last night. So there you go. We'll get that corrected. But a lot to talk about this morning. John is going to take you through the first three interviews, Riverdale, Smyrna, and Blackman. Then Bill Hockenberry will be in to take you through the middle leg. I'll wrap up the show this morning with Siegel, Eagleville, and MTCS Cougar Corner. So we invite you to stay tuned as the Coaches Show gets underway here in just moments on News Radio, WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Choosing the right insurance can be overwhelming. That's where Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance comes in. At Rayburn, we're not just about policies, we're about people. Rick Hall will take the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage at the best price. We've been serving our community since 1973. So why not let Rick Hall take the stress out of insurance? Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency, where you're more than just a policy number. You're our neighbors.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom design jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service. From personal tax preparation to business bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes, at Craig's Tax Service, our staff is here to help.
Get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
As a former Siegel Star football player, I know the importance of the high school sports experience. Good luck to all county student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. From oil changes to major repairs, our certified technicians have the skills and experience to keep you on the road safely.
This is Mike Woodward, head football coach at Laverne High School. If you are blitzed with car problems, go see Dr. Automotive.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car. Online at smyrnaautorepair.com.
At Little Caesars, get a large custom two-topping pizza for only $7.99 when you order online. Wait, did I just say $7.99? Get out of here! This pizza is only $7.99. No way! This is $7.99? You're joshing me. You're saying this pizza perfection is only $7.99? Well, you're crazy for this. Listen, pirate, stop taking my $7.99 pizza. Choose a large custom two-topping pizza for the unbelievable price of $7.99 when you order online. Only $7.99. What?
Pizza, pizza. The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. You can find out more at parksauction.com. And John Dinkins here along with Coach Will Kreisky of the Riverdale Warriors. Winners last night, 37-0. And I must say, Coach, the weather last night was so much superior than the week before.
Oh, it was yes, it was a lot better. Didn't have to take the raincoat. Probably one of the first weeks in a long time I didn't have to take the raincoat with me. But I think I packed it anyway because unfortunately I didn't take it with me to beach, and we needed it that night when we played beach. But yeah, it was a nice weather. The field at Cane Ridge, I guess I've been spoiled. It was the first grass field we played on all year. So I've been having to do a little extra work in the laundry room, getting them white jerseys clean.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, you get spoiled, don't you?
Yes, yes, we do.
That turf, and I don't know if speaking of turf, I don't know whether last week's games would have been horrible. I mean, in grass, because as much rain had come on, and then the mist coming. It would have been pretty sloppy too, I would think.
Yeah, Laverne actually played at Cane Ridge last week in that mess, and their field was pretty tore up. And Cane Ridge they're going to get turf next year. They're in that process. They're rotating schools, and they're on the docket to get it next. And but they're like us. They had a soccer game this week. They had some middle school games. They had a freshman game, things like that. So it's taking its beating, and again, and going into week 8, and. It's hard to keep a field up, and you got to have a lot of money to make sure it's done properly.
Is high school, is every night of the week your field used, or is it close to that?
Yeah, during this fall, Monday nights we had a freshman or JV game. Tuesday nights, we got 2 middle schools, so if a middle school's not playing if our soccer's playing on Tuesday night, then either Buchanan or Christiana will play on Wednesday night. So Thursday and Friday, obviously Friday if we got a home game, but Thursday's probably about the only day of the week that it's not being used.
Wow, that's you can almost count on like 6 days a week. Do they do junior pro on Saturdays?
Yeah, they're junior pros out there on Saturdays. A lot of times with if the soccer wasn't using on Thursday, our band would be able to get out because we get done earlier on Thursday, and our band gets out there and and it's good for them. They get a place to practice. With a lot of construction going on, like their areas of practice hadn't been very, it's not good for them. And being able to have that turf and then be able to get on the turf and practice has been very useful for our band this year.
Not only you can put so many teams on it without doing any damage to your field, but I guess the little things like fixing the field and that kind of thing from coaches, it gives you all an opportunity to do other things, focus on other things other than manicuring the field.
Yeah, like this week, being on fall break, I don't have to have a coach up there working on it and taking care of it, making sure it's in, top notch. The guys, Coach Martin and Coach Pelche get to take a little break, and now all they're worried about is mowing on a practice field.
Yeah.
So that's again, it saves a lot of time and money.
It's expensive, but it does save you money in the long run, I guess, doesn't it, really?
I guess I'll tell you that after we make our loan payment for this turf.
Yeah, you're in the early stages, yeah.
Yes.
I want to talk about this game last night against Cane Ridge. Now, they've kind of had to rebuild a little bit, and the field the way it was, 37-0. The defense just continues to shine, Coach, and it looks like the offense is starting to get a pace now. And if I'm wrong in asking that, but it seems like the offense is catching up a little bit with the defense and starting to put some consistent drives.
Yeah, they're doing well. Malachi Tellin threw for over 250 yards the other night, and he had a really good night. In the first 4 series that we had the ball, he took them down and scored. We had 28 points right off the bat. And he did a great job. Dante Cameron come in and got some really quality reps also the other night, and it was really good for him. And our receivers, Kadarion Fletcher had a great night catching the football. Cam Booker scored a touchdown. Our running back, we were down to Hudson Fuqua. Our other 2, DJ and Caden Bailey, did not play. They were just nursing some minor injuries, and we just felt like we needed another week of rest, especially with playing on a short week. And so we rested those 2 guys, and they didn't take any snaps. And Hudson did a great job. Hudson ran for 2 touchdowns. Should have had a third, but fumbled as going in, and Xavier Watkins fell on it to make that touchdown. But I was really proud of the way our offensive line come back and battled. We really challenged the offensive line after the Coffee County game and told them, we had to have a great week of preparation. And they accepted that challenge, and I was really proud how they played up front.
Well, Malachi was 15 of 20 for 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's pretty impressive. I don't care who you're playing, and to get that much yardage in the air is impressive. To go along with Hudson's 55 yards rushing, 16 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, and then you had Fletcher with 5 receptions. So a pretty roundabout. And it may be unfair to me to ask that when I asked you that they were catching up, because let's go back and look at your schedule, and you were playing some really tough teams early. You have Smyrna that's got a good defense, and Beach, and there's there were a lot of Henry County. There were a lot of good teams that you had to face early, and with a new quarterback and all those kind of things. It probably was a little struggle at the beginning, but I think it's starting to come around. It has been a little struggle. And, you know, the offensive guys kind of leaned on the defense a little bit, and Coach Rail does a phenomenal job, you know, with the defense, and his staff over there. They do a great job on the defensive side of the ball, and they've got those guys playing really hard. And Coach Barnes and his side has done a great job of keeping everybody calm and keeping everybody moving forward. Yeah, we've had some tough weeks offensively, but again, there was no panic. Like I've bragged on Coach Barnes every week and what they do, and you know he you know, when you replace 9 of 11, you're going to have struggle. Right. 9 of 11, and you know, especially when you're rotating quarterbacks, you know, the consistency and things like that. And like you said, I feel like the offense is starting to settle down, and we gave them a challenge early on because we got to be battle tested when we finish this. You know, this is the last push for the playoffs, and you know, all 3 of these games determine playoffs, determine seeding, and then these next 3 games are huge. You know, obviously we focus 1 week at a time, but you know, we have to be healthy these next 3 weeks, and we have to come out and play, and we have to be on top of our game. If not, you know, it won't be a good final 3 weeks of the season. It's so hard to believe that we're this far into the season. It just seems like it's flown by, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. And you made a good point about seeding. Let's see, you've got Blackman coming up on the 18th after fall break, and that's a big one. Yeah, that's a real big one. If it's not already big enough for the communities and both the schools and the student bodies, you know, and then you got a family situation involved in that too, and so it's going to be huge. Blackman's a really good football team. I got to spend some time with them last night, and you know, we got a lot of respect for their programs, their coaching staff. I was with them in their field house before the game and talking to their coaches, and then, you know, watching them play last night. And they're, you know, Ethan Carson, he's playing some really good football for Blackman right now, and Marcus Cameron's playing, just getting that offensive going. I think Blackman is very similar to us. I think they got a really good defense, and they fly around on defense, and they'll strike you. And then offensively, I think they're getting better every week. And you talk about us having a tough schedule. I mean, I don't know if you looked at that Blackman schedule. All of their losses are from teams in the top 5, if not top 10, of 6A, and they're one score. They were 1 score away from beating each one of those teams. Yeah, it's amazing the turnaround that they've had, and you look at their record. I think 3-3, 4-3, and you go, well, you know, that's. But it's not like that. They're really their schedule is tough, and you talk about rivalries, and we always talk about Oakland, Riverdale, the Battle of the Borough. But you know, to those kids, I think sometimes that Blackman Riverdale game may be just as big. It is, and it's, you know, the kids, you know, it was already. As soon as we got done with Cane Ridge, that's all they were talking about. You know, we got Blackman, we got to be focused, and we got to be ready to play. And the kids know that Blackman's a really much improved team from the last few years, and they're going to be ready to go. And they know that we have to come and play a mistake-free game. We can't get any dumb penalties. You know, we have to be ready, and we have to prepare ourselves. We have to have a good week and a half of practice. You know, we'll on fall break, and we'll give the kids the time off, and we'll bring them back in Thursday morning, and hopefully they're rested and get ready to go and start preparing for Blackman. And like you just said, it's huge for the playoffs. And, well, you know, both teams need it for a chance to try to get a home field advantage. Will Kreisky, our guest here, you were talking about the fall break and coming back on Thursday. That gives them a little time, heal up, rest up a little bit. But then you still got over a week to get ready for a team, and I guess that's a good thing for scheduling. If you got Blackman coming up, and then you got, I think, Oakland later on. So these last 3 really matter. Yeah, we got Blackman, Siegel, Oakland. So, you know, all three in county games, and all 3 games you have to be prepared. All 3 have great coaching staffs that work really hard and will have their kids ready to play, and we have to do a good job preparing ourselves. And like you said, you know, these kids need a break. They've been dealing with me since early July, you know, some, you know, June, and they got that dead period break. But after the dead period, I've seen our kids almost, you know, 6 days a week since then. So, you know, they need some time away from the coaches. The coaches need a time away from each other. They need a break from me. And the fall break has come for us, for the Riverdale football team, at a great time. We do have some bumps and bruises that do need to be healed. So, you know, as we come back from fall break and start practicing next week, you know, we'll clean up stuff, not really going to beat them up, you know, as much as we have in the past, you know, make sure we get healthy, but just start mentally preparing for Blackman, and then start just, you know, correcting some of our fundamentals. Next week we can work on get back and do some fundamental things to correct and get ready and get a lot of good reps next week. And
I know the kids are excited and the school's excited. It's going to be a fun 3 weeks coming up.
I know next week, too, you get a chance to meet your wife again and then reintroduce yourself to her and your kids. Yeah. And you have to tell them who you are, remember. But I know your wife, and they support you. They come and they go to the game, so they're not totally away from you. I know they make it a big part of their life as well.
No, all of the coaches on staff and families are big supporters, and we all there. They support us 100%, and it's a blessing, you know. Like we got to play on Thursday night, and you know my family, all they know is Friday night football, so we loaded up, and I call Matt or text him Friday morning and say, hey, put us on the pass list. And one of his coaches, Coach Crosby, a defense coordinator, said, we're not putting anybody from Riverdale on our pass list. But,
it's already started.
Yeah. So, but we got to go. My niece was in the homecoming situation, and I got to stand out there and video her. And my kids got to play with my nephew and niece during the game. And that's the Kreisky family. That's all we know is Friday night football. And, you know, even though it was Blackman and we had to support Blackman last night, it's a family event.
Yeah,
you know, my sister-in-law, that's all we know. My dad was there, my mom was there, and I actually got to be a fan and enjoy it with my family last night, and I'd never get to do that.
Last quick question. What does your dad do? Where does he go? Where does he decide what he does on Friday night?
He plays the game. Like, so he'll text me and tell me what Matt did wrong, and he'll text Matt and tell Matt what he did wrong. So, you know, he always tries to look like the good guy. But, you know, this next week he'll try to tell me what I need to do, and he'll text Matt, try to tell him what he needs to do, and then he'll stand away. And whoever wins, that's, you know, he'll text first, and then, you know. So
and who does he decide what game he's going to? I mean, does
he rotates. Every other week he rotates. But luckily this week, you know, we had a Thursday night and a Friday night game. So that was good, but whatever game's closer to his house, that's the one he goes to.
Sounds like me. Yeah. That's for sure. Will, have a great fall break. Enjoy the weather. It's going to be a great week.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Will Kreisky, head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. They play Blackman next on October 18th. That will be at Blackman. And this portion of the show is brought to you by J. Mullins Jewelry, a family-owned and operated business treating clients like family since 1938. Jewelry design, repair, and a wide selection of great jewelry pieces. Online at mullinsjewelry.com. When we come back, we'll be talking Smyrna football coming up next.
Parks Auction. We handle everything.
The auction is a means of drawing people together for a quick, easy sale.
I've always been a big fan of auctions. You know, you get instant sale, no contingencies and everything. I've known the guys over there my entire life.
Visit our website at parksauction.com. to learn more.
Hi, there in 12 and a half now.
Call Parks Auction at 896-4600. Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters of local high school and MTSU sports.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan Franz Concrete. Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student-athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan France Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranceconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
Here's a question. What do you want from your electric co-op?
An app for easy payment.
Solar energy solutions.
I just want to talk to a real person when I need help. Energy tips and low rates.
Done, 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 done.
I want to fly my car to the moon.
Houston, let's talk about electric vehicles. Energy Service Life. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. We're here to get done what matters most to you. Learn more at mte.com.
The Blue Raider fan source for officially licensed Middle Tennessee gear is Raider Tees. T-shirts, caps, sweats in all sizes, designs, colors, children's to plus sizes. Raider Tees has decals and license plates to show everyone your favorite team. Plus, check out their wide selection of Blue Raider art, jewelry, even golf tee markers. Show your Blue Raider pride with the largest selection of Blue Raider merchandise anywhere by shopping Raider Tees, 910 Ridgely Road, just before the bridge over Broad behind Chewy's.
Pizza. Murfreesboro's favorite pizza is now hiring at all 3 local locations. That's right. We want you to join the Sir Pizza team. Stop in at our East Main, Veterans Parkway, or Memorial Boulevard locations and let us know how you'd like to join the Sir Pizza family. Also, we've made it even easier to order for carryout or delivery. Just head on over to sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coach's Show is brought to you by It Is Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at itistees.com. And joining me on the program today, this morning, is Matt Williams. And Matt, it was not for the faint of heart, your game the other night. It was quite exciting.
No, it wasn't. This is Mark Williams, by the way.
Oh, okay. Hi, Mark. Okay.
Y'all doing all right?
Nobody tells me anything on this radio station. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was it was a fun ball game to be at. Definitely, took it down to the wire. East Nashville, well-coached team, plays very hard. They make a deep run every year in the playoffs. A lot of good athletes there, and so we knew it was going to be a dogfight. And it was. We were fortunate enough to come out on top at the end.
I know one thing. Your offense kind of exploded in this game. Let me give you some stats here. I know you already have them, but for everybody else, 31 carries for Ryan Carver, 109 yards. Britton Judkins was 17 of 20 for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was a great game. Tyreek had 9 receptions for 107 yards, and Williams, R.J. Williams, had 15 carries for 89 yards. So the offense was definitely, when you needed it, you had it.
Yeah, it was. I was proud of the way Britton Judkins stepped up, and delivered the ball, got the ball into playmakers' hands. And there were times there where we had a good, clean pocket for him and allowed him to work and deliver the ball. But Tyreek, had a great night. We get down to one time on the fourth down call near the end zone, and we throw one up to him. He comes down with it. That was great on his part. But overall we started to click a little bit and started to move the ball, and it's good when you do that. And defense helped us out a couple of times. We got a turnover, and we're able to turn that into points. So it was a good team effort.
DJ Barksdale in that fumble recovery, and he also rushed for 2 touchdowns. And I know he's an important factor defensively. Do you try to limit him a little bit on offense to save him some?
Yeah, he's taking on a bigger role on defense, at his end spot, and so we're trying to limit what he does on offense. He's always there if we need him. Like he was the other night, and he's happy to do that. But we're trying to get him more one side of the ball right now so he can really develop there. But yeah, he was clutch when we needed him the other night, and did a great job on defense.
Well, the weather definitely cooperated last night. It was Thursday night. It was a beautiful night for football, and that's been kind of unusual for us in the last few weeks. Tell me a little something about where do you feel you are right now, because you're fixing to have a big game coming up we're going to talk about in just a second. But injury-wise, has the fall break come to a good time? I know everybody's got a few dings and dents.
Right, yeah. I don't think it could have come at a better time for us. We've got some guys that need to get healed up, and it should be by the time we get back off fall break. But, yeah, it's that time of year where everybody's got a little injury here or there and stuff been nagging them and trying to get better. And I think every team is about that way this time of the year. But as far as our team where we're at right now, we're in a positive trajectory right now, which I think every coach would want to be at this point in the year. You never want to peak too early, And I think what we're starting to see, just in terms of us, and that's really all we can worry about right now is what we're doing. We're starting to see some of our younger guys pick up things. We're starting to see them understanding things, and it's pretty good feeling when you start to see that light, click on for some of them. But, we still got a lot of room to get better, that we have to. And like you said, we've got a really tough stretch coming up for us.
You know, Mark, you talk about, first of all, East Nashville. It seems like every year that is a tough game. I mean, it's usually close. Is it a good matchup for you guys, or is that why? Or I mean, I know they have a lot of speed, or usually have a lot of speed.
Well, yeah, they have a ton of speed. They're well coached, and we need to see that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
We need to see that. It helps us out, and we know when we play East Nashville that it's going to be a tough game, and. You know, I think every team needs to win a close game early in the year so they know what that feels like, because a lot of times if you're winning games and it's not really a game in the fourth quarter, you don't know how your guys are going to react. And, you know, we got put in a lot of good situations the other night that we had to we had to compete in. We had to, you know, show that we could work in those situations and come through. We had you know, at one point we had to go for two. Just so the point differential would be in our favor. And, you know, we completed a pass for a 2-point conversion. Is something we worked on. So that was a good situation to be in for us. And I think, you know, if you're in those games that are close like that, your team can grow a little bit from that.
I do feel like you've made leaps and bounds offensively in the last few weeks. And as you go into fall break, I don't know what your all schedule is, but you'll give them a few days off, I guess.
Yeah, we actually give our guys the week off. You know, it's come to that point to where family time is really important. You know, you only get to go around this earth so many times, and so we want to make sure our kids are with their families doing that, because you know we'll have plenty of time to work and get ready for that. But you know, a lot of our kids will get out of town. Coaches will get out of town, and we need that break. And you know, Coach Williams decided that a while back that he was just going to do that, and it's been something that's worked out for us. And I think we can all come back with a little bit, you know, a clear head, come back refreshed, and come back ready to finish out the home stretch of the season.
Well, let's talk a little bit here in the few minutes that we have left. We want to talk about this next game coming up, a team that you're pretty familiar with. It's Stewart's Creek, and they have been playing really good ball.
Oh, man, they played really good ball. You know, again, another well-coached team, a team that I'm sure is very confident right now and should be. A team that, you know, when you watch them on film, they play hard, play through the whistle. Defense flies around. Offensively, they do a lot of things schematically that makes it tough. And so, yeah, I mean, they've done a great job up to this point, and you know, they're going to be a tough team to compete with, and we definitely have to prepare for them.
And, Coach, when you look at them, I don't know what the difference is, but this year they seem to be much sounder defensively, and they score a lot of points, and they've got some weapons out there.
Absolutely. You know, I think, you know, having a year, and they're playing some older guys, playing some guys that have been around in that system, in the defensive system for, you know, a couple years now, so I'm sure that helped. You know, and the same thing on offense. I think you find your groove and you're able to flow, and they've done that. You know, and like I said, they do some things that make it tough on us that we're going to have to prepare for, both defensively and offensively. You know, offensively they run a lot of sets that we're going to have to get lined up to and be prepared for the end. And you know, special teams. I think special teams, they do a great job. They got a kicker that does a good job. A lot of the film I watch, they're putting offenses in holes, and they're starting off, you know, in the negative way back. So you know, that's something that we have to prepare for us on the special team side of it too.
When the season started, I really feel like you guys kind of knew that the two of you might meet in a crucial game like this, due to the fact if everybody did what they, you know, if everything came together like you thought it would and they thought it would. And this is a really big game to really talk about seeding in your region, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, and you know, having that top spot in the region really helps you out in the postseason, because you know we match up with Williamson County, and there's a big difference between, you know, playing a 3 or 4 seed in that region. And it's a really big difference. So you know, it's a coveted spot. And I know that, will get their best shot. You know, just like they'll get our best shot. It should be a fun ball game.
I know with the fall break coming up, this gives the coaches a little time to refuel, re-energize a little bit too, and spend time with their family. I know that's important, and I think Matt and I talked 2 or 3 years ago about taking the whole week, and I kind of loved his answer was just like you said. Sometimes there's more important things in football, and these kids need it, and you guys need it. And so your plans, what are you going to do?
Well, right now I'm at Center College, and my son had a visit today, so we're going to go watch the ball game. We're in Danville, Kentucky.
All right.
And, we're just going to spend the week hanging out. And, I'll be taking care of a lot of chores around the house that need to get done that have been let go.
Yeah.
Once the season, but. I just hope everybody, gets time to spend time with their family and relax and just come back a little refreshed.
So your answer is you're going to be really busy.
Yeah, I think so.
Those chores kind of add up, don't they? Well, we appreciate it, Coach, and good luck with Stewart's Creek on the 18th. Gosh, that crowd's going to be huge, isn't it? I mean, it's just the two of you two together.
It's a great atmosphere for high school football.
You can't beat it. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. This portion of the show is brought to you by Bowen's Body Shop. From dings and dents to full body work, trust Jeff and Kyle Bowen to do the job right. They're located on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. When we come back, it's Blackman football. Matt Kreisky will be our guest here on the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service. We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service reminds you that it makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We've been serving Rutherford County since 1988.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
We're just off Memorial Boulevard at 142 Heritage Park Drive.
Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer, everything from business cards, brochures, booklets to banners. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Printworks. We hear a lot people who have been working with printers on the internet, had issues, and they know that if we're working with someone local, that A, they know where to find us, and B, they know that we'll take care of it because we have to take care of our neighbors. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And this portion of the Coach's Show brought to you by Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a huge selection of mouth-watering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings. You can order your favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. And the other Kreisky joins me, Matt, the Blackman Blaze here today.
The better half.
I'm beginning to. He was in a mood this morning. Yeah. I just want to. I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah,
so.
I hope he is.
Well, I guess I'm not even going to mention the Kreisky Bowl. I know that comes up all the time. But you had a good warm up to that game and a nice end to begin fall break on a 49-0 win over Pure Academy. And I first want to talk, Matt, about Ethan Carson, because I'm reluctant to brag on kids too much, but this kid, he's not a kid, he's a man.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, Ethan comes to work each day. What I like about him is, we got a heavy package in for him. And as soon as he gets off on defense and gets done talking to Coach Crosby and the defensive guys, he's right behind me. He's begging me to put him in. He wants to be in the game. That's his competitive nature, and he wants to win. And it's not about him. It's about this team. He wants to win. He wants to prove everybody wrong. And he's fun coach. To see his growth and his leadership over the past year has been really, really good and fun to watch. Him being the leader of the team and just the way he carries himself in practice, just making it competitive, jawing back and forth with the offense and his other teammates. He's not doing it in a malicious way. He's doing it to trying to get the competitiveness out of the other guys when practicing, and also trying to make it fun, competing because my thing is you got to compete every rep. So he's done that, and see his growth in the weight room. You ought to see him from the time that we've got there until now. The muscle that he's put on, the strength that he's gained, and so he's someone it's hard to keep off the field, and he's going to be special at the next level.
Had six tackles and a touchdown last night. Another guy that I want to mention, Grant Gardner, who I think is that give me those tough yards. When you got to get it's a 3rd and 2, you got to need to run. Grant's that kind of kid, but last night 118 yards.
Yeah, I think he had 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. Where Grant came in this week, Jabari got a little banged up. Jabari could have played, but I just would have wanted to rest him and get him better. So I challenged Grant. I told him, I said, it's your time. You're going to get the brunt of the carries tonight. Let's see what you can do. So we sit down and talk this week, and what he did, he's always been a hard-nosed physical runner for us, and he showed it last night. He made a run early in the game on one of our buck sweep, bounced off a couple guys, stayed in bounds, one of his better runs this year, and he was also hitting it hard, the hardest I've seen him on our inside runs all year. So for him to get that confidence, to gain that momentum in these last 3 games, I'm really excited for him and what he can do. He's the type of kid that doesn't say anything at all. He just works. I coach him really hard. He's unfortunate for him. I coach the running back, so he has to deal with me on a daily basis. But man, he's been a fun guy to coach and to get to know him and his family over this past year, and to see his growth and maturity since he's been with us has been pretty fun and neat.
It's great when you're coaching, somebody answers a challenge that you give. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a great feeling, isn't it? Because they're listening.
Yes.
Marcus Cameron didn't have to throw much, but he was 3 for 5 for 50 yards. It seems like the offense is now, and I don't know, this may be unfair, but it's kind of catching up with the defense a little bit now, and you're getting solid performances from both ends of the ball.
Yep. We don't ask Marcus to do much, but what we do ask him to do, he does it well. He does what we ask him to do. It's his 4th start, 0 interceptions, 50 yards passing, and 1 touchdown pass. So we asked him to come in and manage the game, and he's going to get better. He's gotten better from the first game he started until now. So it's just been fun to watch him, his growth in these past 4 games and what he's doing and the challenges that he's accepted. So he's very coachable, competitive, hard worker. He's a winner, and so that's what you want to see out of your guy. And he's done that the past 4 games, and we expect that out of the last 3 games.
With the fall break coming, I know you'll take. Do you take a few days and then get back to it?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you get a little extra than a week to get ready for a tough Riverdale team coming in.
Yep, we give them off. Have off until now until Thursday morning. We come in and kind of get them back in the routine Thursday and Friday, and then I have the weekend off. Then we'll get back going on Monday. Something I've always done, dealing with fall break. And just practicing, it's nothing too hard, but I like to go ahead and get them back in the routine with the week off, and just so they know coming in on Monday we're back on game week, game routine. But they have, we don't keep them too long through those 2 days. They still have enough time to enjoy fall break, but just getting them back in town and getting the routine going again, because we have a tough region opponent the following week, and so I want to go ahead and get them mentally prepared, them mentally thinking about our next opponent.
We were not there last night, but I heard that even though it's fall break week, that you had a great crowd. You had a really good crowd, and homecoming a lot of festivities and the parade and everything.
Yeah.
And couldn't work out. The weather couldn't have worked out any better for all of that.
Yeah, it was a little bit warmer than what we thought it was going to be. But, man, started off the day with the parade. It was great to see the middle school, the elementary, a lot of the community members out there with the watching the kids during the parade. You know, all these. And I'm sure the elementary teachers weren't too happy with all the candy that we were throwing out to them. But it was just, man, it was neat. And then you go right there, right into the pep rally. We had that, and then you know, pep rally. Then we had all these activities in the afternoon. So you get kind of worried about how the kids are going to act and going to respond. So I told them, you know, we've got to, if we're who we think we are, we've got to take care of business from the first quarter on. And they did that. I was impressed. It's the first time since I've been here that we've had a game like that I knew that we should take care of business from kickoff to finish. So I was glad that they did that. And then I was very fortunate my little girl participated in homecoming.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that because she was here last week, and I hate she wasn't here. I guess she had homecoming queen duty things.
Oh,
you
man.
know,
she thinks she's bossing me around and telling me what to do. I try until I have a game to get ready for, and she didn't really care about that too much. But now she's getting ready. She's going out to cheer on the youth league Blackman Blaze. So
yeah,
she's got a big game today.
I was talking to Will about all the things that go on turf fields now. It's about every day, isn't it?
It is.
Something going on.
It is, and but that's one of the good things. You know, you get these kids that are playing, 6, 7 years old, all the way up until high school, so playing on the same field. So that's something special. Like I mentioned earlier in the year, Nate and his crew do a great job. And then our middle school got Coach Hillis over there is leading the charge at the middle school, doing a great job preparing those guys, getting them ready to send them over us to high school. And so I'm very fortunate to have from youth league to middle school to high school, have a great group of men coaching these young guys up and getting them ready for us whenever we get them in ninth grade.
Matt Kreisky is our guest here, head coach of the Blackman Blaze. And now we get to fall break's going to be over, and then we get ready for this game against Riverdale. And I think I know you and Will well enough now and you've played each other before, so the brother thing is not really an issue. I mean, people like to jab about it and talk about it, but really it's the football game itself, and they've got a pretty good ball club.
They do. It was kind of hard last week. I know myself and other coaches, we're getting ready for Pierre, but we all want to take some time and start watching them, and but you don't want to look past any opponent. It's going to be a very tough game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. They're going to bring a great crowd, and so our community and fans are going to come out and show out. But it's a huge game, a huge region game. Hopefully, trying to battle for a playoff spot in year 2 for us here. That's our goal, is to get that 11th game. So we've talked about it last night about challenging the kids, and it's these next 3 weeks are very important for us. 3 region games, and it starts out with Riverdale, and so it's going to be tough. And I know our kids are excited about it. We still got a bad taste about how things ended last year for us. And so I know they're going to come in ready to work.